Welcome, everybody. Trust and believe. On today's episode, you'll be watching an interview that I conducted with my longtime friend, my longtime battle buddy, longtime brother, recent graduate of the United States Army Sergeant Major's Academy, Master Sergeant ZARZAR. Stay tuned, stay locked. That interview is coming up after the break. Let's say it all together. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. You are tuned into episode 127 of the Nomad Cast. I'm your host, Mr. Anderson, and I got a special guest in the building. One of my longtime battle buddies. We've been knowing each other, I will say probably about 15 years. Our careers mirrored each other. We met at Fort Lewis, Washington, way back when we were young staff sergeants. We were recruiters together. We deployed together. And this gentleman right here is a recent graduate of the United States Army Sergeant Major's Academy, Class 72. Let me introduce y'all Master Sergeant ZARZAR. Master Sergeant, what's up?
Hey, what's good, DA?
What's
the old
going
man
on, man?
Detroit.
Hey, man, I told you I need to send you a Lions hat so we could take that Eagles hat off.
Nah,
man.
forever fly, Eagle fly. Go Birds.
What's been going on, man?
Man, life been good. Life been good since we left Lewis.
Yeah,
been
man.
Doing good. Been doing real good. Trying to stay focused and doing this Army thing. Trying to motivate soldiers and leaders.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, just doing me.
No doubt, no doubt.
That's it, man.
Before we get started, man, you know, we got some sad news that we share. Our brother, Sergeant First Class ALAIMALO, passed away recently. And he was with us in 593rd when we deployed to Kuwait. We had a lot of conversations together in the Char Hall, the barracks where we lived. And if you can, just touch on some of the I guess the fun conversations you guys had, and I'll share some of mine as well.
Man, son, A was a great guy, man. May his soul forever rest in peace.
doubt.
Remember when he came in the unit, and he was a prior, because you matter of fact, he was a 92 Alpha too.
Yep, sure
but
was.
Prior to that, he was a 13, I believe 13 Bravo, 13, but 13 series.
He was 13 series, yep.
Yep. So coming down there, getting him, you know, he was a go-getter. And we, you know, young staff sergeant, we out there trying to make things happen. He was just a good spirited, you know what I'm saying, down to earth type of guy. You see him, he's a big, you know what I'm saying, big guy, right? But real approachable, loved the soldier, speaks his mind. And he was just guy to be around, man. I remember back before we deployed, getting ready for the little, when we do the little field exercises or whatever, put the tents together. You know what I'm saying? You see, you got him over there from his section because he working in SPO, and me, he was in S3, you know, and working with him. So he was a guy before we deployed, just happy to be around. Then when we deploy, because you get the chance when you deploy to be around people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I got, you know, we get to know him on a whole different level. You know what I mean? The guy just loved people. He was a good guy, man. May his soul forever rest in peace.
Definitely.
His wife, his kids, his family, and everything else, man. It just tells you that life is precious, man. We just have to live our life knowing that we don't know what time we'll be out of here.
You don't.
It hurts. It hurts. You know, good young man, man. He's still young.
Yep. I remember, like you said, everything that you're saying, I definitely agree, and I was there with you during those times. I remember, like you said, man, he was always a breath of fresh air. He was sunshine. You know, he was always, you never seen this dude, he was never upset about anything.
Nope.
You know, he was always, fam. You know, he was always just, he was energetic about things, man. And we would talk about, remember we had conversations about sports, about life, about everything, man. And I remember when he retired, he was like, you know, what you plan on doing? And I was like, shoot, nothing. And he went to be a ROTC instructor. He sure did. And he was like, I got to be around the soldiers. I got to be around them. And, you know, just seeing some of the work he was doing down there was incredible, man. So rest in peace, blessings to his family and everything, man. Good dude.
One thing before, what you call it too, when I got what you call it picked up for 8, he was the first one that texted me. I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up like, hey, congratulations. I'm like, what are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he did that, and I was like, hey, man, do you make it too? You said, no, I didn't make it. but I'm happy for you.
Yep.
That says a lot about, you know what I'm saying, who he is and things like that, man. So
that was
man,
him.
May his soul forever rest in peace.
Definitely a good brother. And you know, we all wear these bracelets with names on it, and you know, me and you can all tell, man, we can wear something from our fingers sometimes to cover the whole body with people that we've lost. It's unfortunate the life that we live, but yeah, man, definitely rest in peace, man. So you want to go ahead and get started?
Let's get started, man. Let's get started. I'm here.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's talk about your upbringing. How did life start? I guess that's a weird question, but yeah.
Woo, that's good. That's a good. I would say I have a very interesting life. Simple fact is, I was born in Liberia. It's a small country in West Africa. Actually, were founded by free slaves from here that moved back to Africa. So when Liberia was founded, the name Liberia comes from the War of Liberty. It was freedom. So growing up there, I moved. It was a civil war that happened back in '89, and I was about 12 years old, and I left. Moved to another country for a couple of years, Sierra Leone. Then I moved to the States. I think at the age of 15 or 16, I moved to the U.S. I moved to D.C. area. I moved to Maryland, and you know, coming here. Back in the days, you're talking about the early late 80s, the early 90s. People don't know about Africans, right?
Yeah.
So you out here trying to grind. I went to school. It was just me, my brother, and my cousin, the only Africans in the whole school. Like my community was the only Africans there. So it was tough, you know what I'm saying? Because you won't have no one there. You can go up to say, hey man, what I do? Because I mean, kids out there was me. I mean, you from Africa, African booty scratch and all these crazy ass names. Yeah. But you have to be strong. So I think right there, growing up in the DC area got me got me tougher. After high school, plans was, matter of fact, I was trying to join the Marines at first. Changed my mind and I'm going to college for a little bit. Felt it was not for me. Right. And I met a recruiter. And my thing, when I went to the recruiter, I said, hey, dude, I want to join the Army. I always want to be a soldier. Can I enlist? He said, too easy. So he got the process going. I was still in college. I said, nah, the college thing, I'm not working for me because I'm not sitting in class. I'm in the library, not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So the process went through. The funny thing was, I said, you know what? He was like, man, you're not doing anything here. So why don't you go at first, because I was going reserve. Then you like, we're not doing anything here. Why don't you go active duty? I'm like, what's that? You were like, oh, that's when you do it full time.
Right. And
you get the chance to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, really? I can do, live my life and everything. He said, yeah, being a soldier, make that happen. I said, oh, you know what, let's do that. So, but my paperwork was saying reserve. So when I went down to the gallant counselor, I met her name too, Masson Evans. So I'm sitting in the office and she was like, okay, so what's the deal? What's the plan? I'm like, okay, I'm going on. Hey, I said something, hey ma'am, I didn't know her rank or nothing like that. Right. I said, hey ma'am, can I go active duty? Yeah. She was like, well, they said reserve here. Why you want to go active duty? I said, man, just something, I want to try and see what's up. She was like, okay, too easy. So she went in the back to change my document, right? My crazy ass recruiter came back in there and said, hey, you ready to go active duty? You think you're ready for that lifestyle? You ready for this?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this guy like, why you playing with me, right? I said, damn, am I ready? Do I know about it? I said, no, I don't think I want to do it.
Right.
So when she came back in the room, I said, no, ma'am, I want to stay in the reserve, stay here. She was pissed off. She was like, hey, make up your freaking mind and tell me what you want to do. I can't go back and forth to some paperwork. I ended up doing the reserve. I got to AIT. And all my buddy was going active duty, right? So I'm like, man, I love that active duty thing. I want to stay here. They said, no, I'm sorry. You got to go back in the reserve, do some time, then you can switch over. So I went back in the reserve. I think I did 3 years in the reserve. While in the reserve, I moved from Maryland to Minnesota.
Right.
Back in, I think I joined the Army back in '97. So 2000, that's why I'm in '98. After AIT, I moved to Minnesota. So I spent 2 years in Minnesota. Fell in love with it. I mean, it is the biggest Liberian population in the U.S. So it's a lot of my people out here. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I stayed for a little bit, did the reserve thing, but I still didn't like the reserve. I think I did two AT, the annual training. Annual training was great. At the same time, it was kind of okay. So I said, I want to do active duty. That's when I switched over and went to active duty in 2000.
Yeah.
So that's all it started, man. I'm from a real big family. Got about 20 some odd siblings. I'm a big I love my family guy. I got a total of 5 boys.
Yeah.
You know, I'm divorced. But it's life, man. Life is great. And so what you call it, soldier. And I love what I'm doing. You know, I told myself, people want, you know, at times they're like, hey man, I think you've been in for a long time, get out, you know. So but I still love what I'm doing. I love being around soldiers. And so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. So I want to peace to you as well with your family and everything, because I remember the conversations we had. You know, you was always family first, family. Definitely remember that.
Right.
Let's go back. You mentioned something, and I thought, you know, I think back the time when I was a recruiter, because we were recruiters at the same time. You recruited in Minneapolis, and I recruited in Detroit.
Right.
And you talked about the whole active duty reserve. I remember, and I think I shared the story with you during those days. Anybody that walked in our office in Detroit, I couldn't speak for the other recruiters in my office, but for me, if it was a young cat, single, young female, single, whatever, no ties, no husband, no wife, no nothing, I was not letting you go reserves. My station commanders, they would get so freaking mad at me about that. I'm like, okay, we get this guy, gal, we enlist him, right? Now the Army's happy. The beast has been fed.
Right.
So they go reserves. They go down to Fort wherever for basic training. They come back to Detroit. What are we doing? Oh, well, I'm going to get a job at GM. Oh, I'm going to get a job at Ford. That's great. They'll hire you for 89 days, and to prevent you from getting benefits, they fire you at day 90.
See.
So now you're back at square one. So go freaking active duty. So when you mention that, you know, I always think about that time. So
man,
it's something, man. I know we shared that story as well.
Man, and that's the same thing. That was my approach. You know, when young guys in the street that I meet in the street, I say, hey man, you had nothing going on here, right?
Yep.
Reserve is for young kids out of high school that want to go to college, right?
Yeah.
Great. The Army helped them pay for college.
Yep.
Or if you got a good job, all you need is the Army benefits. Great.
Yep.
When you sitting out here doing nothing, working at McDonald's or Popeyes or whatever,
exactly,
the reserve is not for you.
No.
Go on active duty. Do your 3 or 4 years. If you like it, you stay. If you don't like it, you come back and do some time in the reserve.
Yeah.
But and like you said, I got into my center commander and the First Arms.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need reserve mission. I said, First Army, I hear what you're saying. The Army need reserve mission, but this young man or woman is getting ready to join the Army for the next couple of years.
Yep.
And I'm not coming back and so my recruiter lied to me. Nope, you can't put that on me, because when he joined, you out of the picture. I'm the one gonna deal with this young, you know, this person.
Exactly.
So I did not sell. I'm sorry, reserve. I'm sorry, reserve mission. But a lot of time, you know, I would pick the picture, but I would pick out to do a lot better than reserve, right?
And that's what we talk about, especially when making it to the senior level, is the ability to read the room.
Yes.
You know, if you got a husband and wife, I want to serve. I don't want to freaking, you know, do active duty. We are lawyers. We just want to serve. Okay, the reserves may be your thing because you already got something popping off. Your life is great. But this cat come in, teeth ain't been brushed since 1960, clothes all jacked up. He got like negative $900 in his bank account. No, you ain't going reserves, dude. It's not happening. Kiss mom, everybody goodbye. You going.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Let's talk about your first duty station in the Army.
Okay. First duty station. I mean, maps to switch from reserve to active. I had 3 choices, right? It was I had Korea. I had options with Korea, Germany, and then BLISS. So I said no to Germany, no to Korea, because it was overseas. I'm like, I don't want to go back. I want to go overseas.
Right.
Then Korea, I mean, BLISS was something in the States. I'm like, what's BLISS? Where's that? And the dude like, oh, it's in the Paso. I'm like, what's a Paso? They're like, oh, we're close to Mexico. I'm like, man, okay. So I went over there, man. I would say about 4. That would probably be one of my best duty stations.
Yeah.
I think we're just not, you know, getting a big Army, and then the people that I work with, the leadership, and I mean, we enjoyed our time at BLISS. You know what I'm saying? I got married here. My 2 older sons were born in El Paso, so I love Fort Bliss. I love the unit. Went to the field. We trained hard. We played hard. It was just, I love it. You know, that was part of it. And I left Bliss. It was hard going to my next duty station because it was different. I didn't feel the teamwork or unit cohesion when I left Bliss going to my next duty station. So I love El Paso. I love the people. It was great. It was great. So I would say first duty station Bliss was by far one of my best duty stations in the Army.
You've always, as long as I've been knowing you, man, you've always talked glowingly about Fort Bliss. And I never had the opportunity to get stationed at Bliss. The closest I was at, Texas was Fort Hood. And, that's a whole nother conversation there. Especially during them years I was there. But
man,
when you left Fort Bliss, where did you go after that?
Germany. I was wearing my unit was in Bamberg, Germany.
Right.
But when I got to Germany, the dude like, oh, you here? You're not married. You're going to VILSEK. VILSEK grad.
Yeah.
Man, I was pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to go to no, I don't go to no doggone grad or VILSEK. Right. So Bamberg, because Bamberg was I don't know if you ever been to Bamberg, because I know you was in Germany too. I don't know if you ever been to Bamberg.
Yeah,
Bamberg's in the city.
Yep.
It's right in the city. Life was good in Bamberg. But I got to VILSEK and I'm like, what is this? I'm over there in Fort Park or somewhere, middle of nowhere,
that's
Germany.
That is it.
I did not like that duty station. I think some of the reason would be with the fact that I left Bliss, like I said, my unit cohesion and everything else. But I think Germany was the fact I was not in a good space. Going through a divorce. I'm not happy. My mental state was not good. Then when I got over there in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't like it. It was not good. Germany was not so good for me. Was not a good duty station for me.
It's amazing.
My mental state.
Yeah, it's amazing how. And I told this story when I interviewed one of my future soldiers. I talked about when I left Germany. I had just made E5, and these guys, I was like, man, I'm a great freaking NCO. And I got to Fort Hood, and them dudes like, where you come from? I had them type of platoon sergeants. Where you come from? So I'm coming from Germany. Where in Germany? Hanau. Oh, y'all ain't do nothing in Hanau. Go stand over there. I'm like, dude, you know what I did in Germany? You know what I mean? Again, the mentorship, it was a bad situation. And it's troubling that, you go through a duty station where mentorship, you're a mentee, every life is great, social life, military life, unit, everything. And then you're thinking, okay, the next duty station is going to be even better. But you take a step back with leadership, mentorship, everything. So that's man. What was after you left Germany? Where did you go?
After Germany, that's when I got to Lewis, JBLM.
593rd, yeah, man.
593rd. Before I got to 593rd though, I was actually in 5-2, right, the Striker Brigade.
Yeah, yep.
I was in the Striker Brigade for a while, and I hated life in the Striker Brigade too, because the fact Germany still in the bad place in my career, mental state. Yep. I got a 5-2 Striker Brigade, brand new Striker Brigade in the Army.
Yep.
Life was crazy. DA, man, I almost got an Army when I was in Striker Brigade.
Yeah,
I did the whole family kid plan. I did the whole family kid plan, and it got me on 5. I was trying to get a 5-8 family kid plan, right? Yeah. But the commander Emma gave me a chapter 6, which is hardship.
Yep.
A hardship toward the difference between the family kid plan and hardship will be family kid plan, you get some type of benefits and everything else.
Yep.
So when it was all said and done, I actually got my DD 214, right? Getting out of the Army, and even before that happened, I went back to command. Said, hey man, I think 5-8. That's what that's what I wanted. So she was like, oh, I gotta go put the stuff back to the whole chain of command now to the brigade, brigade command to approve it. So right now I don't know if we can get approved, but I'm sorry, but hey, chapter 6 is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get out of the Army and do what you have to do. I said, okay. So I'm like, oh dang, I got nothing. Because the thing was, it was an emotional decision. I didn't plan my life after the military.
Got you. Just
I'm like,
off
I just want to
emotion.
get out. I'm not loving it no more.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. So, boom, I got the what you call it. Went down to the out processing center. The dude like, hey, we got your paperwork. Give me a second. This is what's going on. I got your DD 214. I'm going to back to print it out. Once I get it, you're done. You're out of the Army.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, good. Like, I'm happy, I'm sad at the same time, right? Mixing emotions.
Yeah, mixed emotions.
You know what I'm saying? So right in the back, I got a phone call saying, hey, tell a dude to stop your paperwork. Your stuff got approved. That the Army will retain you being retained in the Army to start your other process. So I told him, hey, stop my paperwork. So fast forward, stop my paperwork, came back in the Army, and I went to it was, I believe, one of the units in 593rd to do an interview for a job to I think it was 24 quartermaster.
Yeah.
To be the NCOIC for the warehouse.
The SSA over there.
SSA.
Yeah.
I did the interview, got the job, everything was good. I reported to 593rd Brigade. They're like, hey, buddy, you staying here in the brigade S3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, S3? I'm a 92 officer. What am I doing at S3? They're like, I'm sorry, you're going to be the schools and training NCO.
I thought before you did that, wasn't you in CSS AMO?
No, I was always in
No, I'm saying before you came, because I remember, and tell me if I'm wrong, and tell me if my memory is bad. I remember when I got the 593rd, I was standing in formation. We were both young staff sergeants. And I was trying to get a job. I was trying to move over to CSS AMO because I didn't want to be in the S3.
Right.
And it was like, I forgot the Sergeant First Class. God, what was his name? Bald head cat from Chicago.
I know.
Henderson.
I know. Yeah, I don't know his name.
Wasn't he the NCOIC?
He was the NCOIC. Yep.
I had talked to him. And because he was like, oh, you another 92 Alpha. I said, yeah, I don't want to be in the S3. I want to go to CSS AMO. He is, all right, holler at me in formation tomorrow.
Right.
I'm all excited, right? I come to formation the next day, and somebody was like, hey, y'all see the new staff sergeant over there? I think they're talking about me. They talking about you. I was like, who the freak is? Well, I ain't say who the freak. I say, who the blank is that? That's freaking ZARZAR. He the new staff sergeant. I think he going to CSS AMO. I was like, no, F that. I'm freaking going over there. The next thing you know, we in the S3, and our relationship has been great. But I don't know if you remember. I remember that. I remember that.
Man, you know what? It's funny you said that because I had I guess a bad deal to being work for me to work over there because I never.
Yeah, because you was in it. Because if I remember, it was headquarters. God, this was so long ago. Headquarters, SPO, the S shops, and I think maintenance or somebody. I remember I was in the S platoon, and I looked directly over there, and it was like, yeah, that's the new staff sergeant. He gonna be in CSS AMO. And I'm like, hold on, man. I just talked to the freaking NCOIC last night. He said I was good. Because at that time, because at that time I didn't understand manning requirements. We didn't know none of that stuff back then. Nope. I thought it was just, hey, I show up and here I am. And then I talked to him and he was, nah, man, this and that. He was cool. Hendo was cool. But I was like, man, who is this dude, man?
Yep, you're right. That's Hendo. Cedric
Henderson.
That's him, Hendo.
Yeah, man. I was like, this dude taking my spot.
But you know the connection with me and Hendo?
Yeah.
Me and Hendo, we was back in 5-2 together, the Striker Brigade.
Got you.
That's where we got a connection came from. And he went to 593rd before I did.
Yep.
And he probably working with to put me over there. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hendo, that was Hendo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
small man.
Yeah, man. And so we end up being in the S3 and we end up deploying.
Right.
Let's talk about, from your foxhole, that deployment, what it was like, because we was next to each other. It was Staff Sergeant ZARZAR, Staff Sergeant Anderson, Staff Sergeant Lewis Jones, and that little row in the top.
Then you got the S2 in the back.
Yeah, man. What was that experience like for you?
Man, it was great. It was great. I love it. The fact, I don't know if I probably told you that before, man, but it was just sitting next to you, man. Man, you were smart. You were smart, dude.
Appreciate
when you do your briefing, man, because you were the only one I think on our road that did any briefing when they do the above. You're the only one on our road that briefed, right? When you brief your slides, man, it's like you articulate your words, and it's just I'm sitting there like, man, I'm enjoying this dude. I'm enjoying this briefing. Like you sounded good. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, he was on there. I'm like, man, D is on his thing. You know what I'm saying? He doing what he come in there, he do his job. You're very professional. You don't come out, you know what I'm saying? You're not out there like most other people that, you know, what you call the AJ, running around, right? You was out there, you do the work, you stay by yourself, you eat you know what I'm saying, go to your coach, whatever the, you know, the kids say, but you just like a very professional dude.
Appreciate it, man.
And
Appreciate it.
Me and Louis don't work together doing what you call it, doing the finance paperwork. We call it the DTS.
Yep, DTS.
Yeah, she did a lot with the DTS and everything else. You know, but matter of fact, I don't know if you know that. I don't know if I ever told you that before, but I got in trouble for you. He was out of office one day, out of tent one day. Then Lookabout. Remember Lookabout?
Yeah.
Man, that dude, he said something about you not going to the range, your range car, right? And I kind of, you know, I'm like, hey, son, no, son, he went to the range. I can vouch for him. He went to the range. He did X, Y, Z. The dude told me to shut the F up, right? Wow. So right then I'm like, hey, son, I'm a grown ass man. You don't tell me to shut the F up. Yeah. So I told him, I said, no, son. So I was in the back, and he was, you know, because he sits all the way in the front. It was about the battle captain. Yeah. So I'm like, sorry, you can't talk to me like that. I was so heated. I went in front of him. I'm yelling at him, and I said, don't disrespect, don't ever in your life disrespect him. Then, remember Simon Demore? Yeah. you came from back there like, hey, Eddie's everybody on the top right now. Yo, Eddie, both of you Eddie's right now. You go here. And I'm like, sorry. I said, I hear what you're saying, but I will not get disrespected. I'm in the Army, yes. But I'm a family man and I got kids. This guy will not disrespect me. Right. But fast forward, I think my NCR, he played a part when that to me and him, look about what we didn't see after that, right? Right. So I think my NCR though, when he did my NCR, it was not so good. Right. Because of what happened, he felt, you know, when I talked to him and everything else. I don't think you remember either too. When you and Yancey got selected, it was you and Yancey and somebody else. What's the I think Barra up in the audit room. Yeah. Got selected for recruiting. I didn't get selected for recruiting. I didn't.
See, that's what I was going to talk about when we got into recruiting. I remember we used to sit in a TOC. For people that know, a Tactical Operations Center. We used to sit in the TOC. You, me, and Lewis Jones, we would sit and try to strategize. How can we make E7, Sergeant First Class? We're just staff sergeants out here. What do we freaking need to do? Because remember, the list was going out and all that. Right. I could have swore we submitted our recruiting packets the same time.
No, actually, y'all got selected. I think both of y'all were probably DS selected too. But what I was trying to go, y'all were DS selected, right? Yeah. So a matter of fact, I called. It was the branch manager. His name was something Separalis or whatever his name was, right? Yeah. Yeah. I hit him. I said, "Hey, Sergeant, all my battle buddy got selected. I'm here with them. The only thing no one here, you know why I didn't get selected? You give me some type of bull crap excuse why I didn't get selected. And I had to write him an email, not him, but the sergeant major, the branch manager, write him an email why I need to be a recruiter. He said, and Saparello was like, hey, do not call me or email me. If you get selected, you will know. I think it was a week after that. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because we're getting ready to, back redeploy. Yep. So I say, you know what, bump this. So I call HRC, not HRC, HRC USAREC, right? The recruit team. Yep. I said, look, hey, I'm over here deployed. I'm getting ready to redeploy. I'm trying to go recruiting. I didn't get selected. What's the process? And next, Y, Z, what do I need to do to put in the package, right? Yep. I'll respond with like, hey, check your email. You on assignment. So now I'm like, what you mean I'm on assignment? She said, check your email. Check your email, then get back with me, right? I checked my email. Let's say, boom, you are selected for. And we all called, it was me, you, and Yancey. We called recruit team to ask for our battalion location. Yep. Because you were trying to go back to Detroit.
No. I was not trying to go back to
Detroit. Oh, you were not trying to go to Detroit?
No, I remember I wanted to go New York, Philadelphia, B. Moore, Detroit was like at the bottom because Detroit fell under the Great Lakes. I think he still froze again. But I didn't pick Detroit because Detroit was on the Great Lakes because you was on the Great Lakes. Detroit was like, no, I didn't even put Great Lakes there. So when I called the master sergeant who was at the recruiter team, I asked her, I said, we getting ready to redeploy. I got a SLC school date already. I need to know, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, I'm looking in your records and you from Detroit, right? Yeah. So I'm like, Roger, Master Sergeant. She's like, that's where you going. Dude, and hung up.
Oh.
I was like, nah, because I wanted to go to the recruiting station, the one that's in the middle of Times Square.
Oh.
That's where I wanted to go. But
so,
she was
man,
like,
I always thought you want to go back home to Detroit, man. Because you know what the thing is? I picked Minneapolis, right?
Yep.
Because she was like, shit, ain't nobody want to go over there anyways. That's what you want? You can get it. She said nobody trying to go to that cold. Right. You want to go in there? You can go. You can have, because it was Minneapolis, B. Moore, and ATL.
Yeah.
And she was like, you want to go to Minneapolis? I said, yep. She like, too easy, you got it. So that's so, I thought you picked Detroit. Oh, man.
Oh,
okay.
man. I wanted to go to New York. Thank God I didn't, because it probably have been a little more difficult. Because when I got to Detroit, it was just like, bam, okay. I didn't have to worry about trying to figure out streets and all this stuff. Right. You go to New York, you got to figure out Queens. Then you got to figure out Brooklyn. Then you got to figure out you know what I mean? So,
right.
Man, I would tell you, I had asked you about what was like in Kuwait when we deployed. For me, just sitting on that back row, and the way you remember our back row was, we was there, the S2, it was us, and then it was in tiers. Right. So that the bottom of the talk, it was like a college setting. You know what I'm saying?
Classroom, yeah.
Yeah, that's where all the briefings were at. But I would tell you, that year we were deployed to Kuwait, it was joy, man, seeing you and Staff Sergeant Lewis Jones. It was just us three in that back. Right. We would crack our jokes. We had our own language.
Man.
When Cats was briefing, we laughed. I mean, it was great, man. It was, I tell you, that was one. I only did 2 deployments, Iraq and Kuwait. The Iraq deployment was a little different because that's when things were still hot.
Right.
But and you know that. But that Kuwait one was different because we was able to kind of let our hair down a little bit. Right. But I tell you, I remember that time, man. That 593rd, me and my wife, we talk about that all the time. That 593rd, that deployment to Kuwait, that was a special time. Staff Sergeant trying to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? So kudos for, that's where our friendship really blossomed.
It did.
We were deployed.
We deployed. I think so too. And the fact that the fun you just said that I think 593rd being that brigade or being that staff level, it gave me a different perspective of the Army.
Yeah.
I think after 593rd, I think that's when my life in the military changed.
Yeah.
Differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't know DA, but DA is a funny guy, man. Cause you know the little when you imitate people and do the little jokes we were doing walking around, man. It's just like I wish you still. I don't know if you still got the videos.
I do. I did an episode about it a few episodes back, man. Yeah,
dude, man. Dude, you crack.
You was the guy that was doing telling me the names to pick.
Yeah, I'll tell you the names, and you go ahead and tell the person. Yep. And man, when you do each and every one you do, I mean, and the funny thing is, I want you to know when we got that war back in I think the DFAC war, that big building that we used to be in. Yeah. And I wish that day we was getting that war. If I talked to someone to put you that clip to put it in there so everybody can watch it.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I did that.
That would have been. Oh yeah, that was like our. Was that the redeployment award ceremony or something like
ceremony,
that?
Yeah. When we sat in that big yeah. Man.
That'd be dope.
Hot. It was hot, but it was. I love Kuwait, man. I enjoyed my
Kuwait
time
was
in
good,
Kuwait.
man. Kuwait was good.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you left 590. Because that 593rd, again, I'm testing my memory here. We went to recruiting school around the same time.
Because
yeah.
I mean, I thought y'all was a class that ahead of me. You in Jensen. Y'all was in the same class. I was a class behind y'all.
Yeah.
So I think believe when y'all graduate, we all met because what's the name was in school too. Smitty. She was in Georgetown School.
Yep.
So we all met at the end. Remember me, you, Smitty, and me, you, and Smitty went to the little Army show at
Captain
Jackson.
Captain Benford. Bedford?
Yes.
Yep. She was
Bedford.
It had the soldier show at Fort Jackson.
Yes.
Yep.
Yup. So you at the end. I think because I got back, I graduated in October, went back to Fort Lewis, PCS in December of 14. That's when I left Fort Lewis. I think you probably left a month before I did.
When I left Fort Lewis December 2010.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I said 14. I'm tripping. 2010, yeah. December 2000. So yeah, you left, because I left late December, right before Christmas.
Yep, I left the early part of December. And also a fun fact, when we redeployed back to the States, our next objective was Senior Leaders Course, and I think we was probably a week apart.
Yes.
Maybe 2 weeks apart on that as well.
You're absolutely right. Yup. Because you remember
because I remember we met up while we was in Virginia.
At Fort Lee.
So you think about it, we was in 593rd together, Garrison.
Right.
And then we deployed to Kuwait, came back from Kuwait, went to Senior Leaders Course, came back, took a hour break, went straight into recruiting school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about recruiting.
Man.
When you walked in that recruiting station in Minneapolis, what was it like?
What was it like, man? When I walked in there, kind of backpedal a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. When I got the battalion, Minneapolis battalion, they were like, "Hey, man, you going to Burlington, Iowa, right?"
Oh, wow.
All I heard was Iowa because the battalion covers 5 states. Yeah, you know, Iowa, little part of Wisconsin, Minnesota, South and North Dakota, and I'm like, Iowa. I'm like, I ain't going to no doggone Iowa. And I told the dude, I said, I'm from the cities. You know what I mean? I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I mean, and St. Paul. That's where I got my family. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, buddy. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no space over here. You got to go to Iowa. That's the best. That's the best company in the battalion. I said, good. That's good for them.
That's great for them.
I ain't going over there. So I'm like, what do I need to do to get to Minneapolis, city, right? You got to call the sergeant major. So I call him, wrote him an email, right? 2 days after that, like, hey, you going to the cities. So the good thing here now, coming to cities, I had a house over here that I was paying for anyway. So I'm like, bet I got the duty station that I left out of. When I came to the Army back in 2000, I went to the same station, 5 miles away, I think 3 to 5 miles away from my house. Bet. So I'm like, I was home. Yeah. Everybody was happy to see me back in recruiting. A lot of other recruiters, they were pissed off. They don't want to be here. I'm the only one going in there talking about, hey, we're going to change things around here. I'm doing man, who's this dude?
Who's this dude?
You know what I'm saying? Man, I was happy to be home, happy to be around the family. Yeah. And I think, to me, recruiting was, I want to be a recruiter. So I like being a recruiter. Yeah. So it was one of the things that I work hard every day. Yep. My whole thing was P is P, production is power, right? Yep. When you're producing and recruiting, you leave you alone. So I say, you know what? If I'm producing these dudes, I can do exactly what I want to do. Yep. I can be home chilling. Yep. I can tell these guys I'm over there doing prospecting, but I'm home doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Right. But producing. So when I got there, I'm producing. And dudes like, hey, Zarzar, you got anything in your funnel? I mean, in your funnel? I said, yo, there you go. I got 2 more. You want reserve, active duty? You want this?
Let me know.
So I was the man. I was the man of the station. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I was home. I was loving it. And a lot of kids, I got a bunch of Cat 4, right? You know, rocks and everything else. But my thing was, man, when you come in the office or when you come in my station, I built a rapport with these guys and their family. It was not about mission. This stuff about how can I change this man's life, right? This young lady life. So I did the numbers. I'll talk to him and say, look, man, when I put you in the Army, if you join or you don't join, you see outside, you see that BMW? I'm still gonna be driving that BMW. Yeah. I got a house over here. I'll still be living in my house. It don't have nothing with me. Nothing will happen if I don't put you in the Army. I don't know a lot to you about nothing. Right. So these guys right there, like, hey, man, Zarzar, we respect you. it was dude that go to MEPS and Bolo, right? But it'll hit me up and go hit somebody else, like, hey, talk to someone ZARZAR. So I'm getting phone calls from, you know, people, oh, what's the name, told me to call you. So I got referrals everywhere.
Yep.
And I think the first year or so, the guy that was doing the feature story program, I personally felt like he was not doing a good job. So I told him, send a command, I said, hey man, I need this dude to get ready to go to the big Army, basic training, ready to go. So let me take over the program, right?
Yep.
That's how I took over the program, became the feature soldier manager. And I was still recruiting, and still doing that. My program I ran my program 3 days a week. I had my applicants knowing the rank structure, knowing how to do DNC. I took that stuff serious. I didn't just check the block to do little quick classes. All my applicants left the station knowing the Army. They was ready for promotion. And that's something that I enjoyed doing. Guys, a couple of fights with First Sergeant trying to switch personnels from active to reserve. Telling us, so First Sergeant won't happen. I need this guy. You need to go reserve. You need to go active, back and forth, man. But I love, by far, my second favorite job. I won't rank my jobs in the Army, which my least and my favorite job in the Army, but I'll tell it will be up there my top job in the Army. You know, recruiter. I love it and spend my time in there. You know, I actually did 4 years in recruiting out of 3.
I remember. I remember you, because either you volunteered or you were voluntold.
I volunteered.
You volunteered to extend. Because I think when you volunteered that extra year, I was already in Japan.
Yep.
And I was like, what? You was like, yeah, man, I'm just going to do it another year. I tell you, man. What was that extra year like?
The extra year was great. The thing was, when I called branch for assignments, they had Germany. And I'm like, that's all you got? She was like, yeah, Germany. You know, like I said earlier, my experience with Germany was not so good.
Right.
I didn't want to go back to Germany.
You didn't want to go back.
So I'm like, oh, I don't want Germany. I said, what anything else you get? She said, right now, it's all I got is Germany. I said, what option do I have? She said, you can extend. I said, you know what? Bet I would do that. I probably will for another year. I probably get something else. So I extended that year. I think it was one of the transition year, getting ready to leave anyways. At the same time, not letting recruit, because I'm 3 years in the station. I'm good. You know, I love what I'm doing. I love the job. They begged me, hey, won't you go ahead and convert? I said, no, you're good. You can keep that. You know,
no convert.
That stuff. Oh, you gonna get your own station? Nope, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
Missed the Army. So it was good, but I think it was a transitional period. And I got time to go to school. You know, I think I got my bachelor's degree when I was my last year in recruiting and things like that. So it was good. It was a good 1 year. Then I got Korea. So when I came back Korea, I'm like, Germany came back. She was like, oh, I still got Germany. I said, ma'am, no, I don't want Germany. I want, you know, I'm like, Korea. Where am I going to Korea? She's like, you going to Cam, what do you call it? You're going to Young. No, you said you're going to Youngsan. I said, where's Youngsan? She said, Youngsan is in Seoul. I said, Seoul, that's the capital. She's like, yeah. I said, bet. And I was going to an MI brigade. So meaning I would get a TS clearance, right? I said, too easy. Hey, say less. Let me go to Korea. Boom, man, I love Korea. Korea was a good duty station for me. I love Korea.
I did Korea twice. The first time I did Korea was the year before we deployed. And I don't know if you remember, when I came back from Korea, I was going to put that warrant officer packet in. And remember, I was like, I ain't deploying. And then I ended up making warrant officer.
You know what? Hold on, I forgot. You did that, huh?
Yeah. When I came back from Korea, I was like, I already been gone a year. And now all of a sudden redeploying to Kuwait. I was like, oh no, it's warrant officer time. So I got recommendations, did all that, put the warrant officer packet in. And remember, they had like a huge meeting, Sergeant Major Moore and everybody. And they doing a manifesto, who's going to go, projections, manpower, all that. And I was like, shoot, my name is going to be on it. And I want to say you was in that briefing. And you was like, yo, DA, your name on that list, you going to Kuwait too. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major said, get the fuck out the office, man. You going to Kuwait with us. Which turned out, I'm so thankful that warrant officer thing didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? The ability to not only deploy with you and the rest of the folks, but even after that, becoming a recruiter, doing some of the same things you was doing, being able to touch professionally that future soldier, molding him or her, making them soldiers and all that. So I would tell you, out of all the things I ever tried in life, I'm glad that didn't happen, that warrant officer thing. And this is not to knock the warrant officers.
Right.
But I just think that, you know, the Lord has something for us. You know, every time a door slams, a window opens. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
man, I didn't. Dang, I'm getting old. I didn't remember that. I remember.
Yeah, man. I remember everything I shouldn't remember. The things I need to remember, I can't remember. So, when you were in Korea, I remember we used to go back and forth because I was still in Japan when you were in Korea.
Right.
And there was times we was going to link up, but the unit I was in Japan, there's an AA station in Japan, but we're going to Australia for 30 days. We're going to freaking Indonesia for 60. I'm like, well, shoot, man, I might as well been deployed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That experience in Korea, what was eye-opening about being in Korea during that time?
Eye-opening for that experience career, because I was the brigade. I moved, so the brigade was in Yongsan, but the battalion I got pushed to, I was actually supposed to be in Yongsan, to move into Humphreys to the battalion. I got to the battalion, you know, it's an MI battalion, and I was the battalion S3 NCOIC. Sergeant first class is an EA position, so I'm like, okay, feeling good.
Yeah.
That experience, when you see the mission that the 719 MI battalion, that mission across Korea, it was an eye opener.
Yeah.
The work that I did in that S3, it was just something that I'm like, oh wow, this is something different. Yeah, I did some work in S3 back in 593rd, but I was not the NCOIC. I was the schools and training NCO, right? Yeah. But now I'm the NCOIC. I run the entire operation for the for the battalion. So it was a great experience. I get to live off post. I was going to school working on my master's.
Yep.
I got my master's. So that year in Korea was by far one of my best years in the Army too. I love it. I love the country. I love the people. I love the work, and everything with Korea was great for me. That's why I think one thing, leaving the academy, I was hoping to get Korea. Yeah. You know, I was hoping to get Korea. So Korea was a great assignment. You know, from there I went to Fort Hood.
Let's talk about Fort Hood. You was the first sergeant there too, right?
First sergeant at Fort Hood. You know, the first sergeant position at Fort Hood, when I got the first sergeant, they got me going to the SPO, right? So I'm like, hey man, I've been doing staff for the last couple of years. I've been away from soldiers. I've been doing staff, right? I need to go down and be a platoon sergeant. I've never been a platoon sergeant. So anytime I've been a platoon sergeant, they're like, oh, now we're getting ready to deploy to Afghanistan. I'm like, I just came for Korea. I'm not trying to dodge a deployment.
Right,
but I need some time. You know, I'm a single father. I'm like, I need some time, you know, with the kids. And I need to be, you know, platoon sergeant. It happened that one of the guys in one of the units, it was a perfect swap. So this swap in the brigade, I got moved down to I got moved down to the company. I'm over there platoon sergeant. Loving being a platoon sergeant. You know, now I got about 40 soldiers. Yeah. And my platoon leader working together. I said, oh, I love this. This job is good. First on the first month, like, hey man, I like your, you know, I like your style. I like your approach. When I leave, I'm leaving in a couple of months. I think I want you to replace me as the, you know, if you make the list for Master Sergeant, I want you to replace me. So I'm doing an interview and everything else. Did an interview a couple of times, I think with 3 times. But politics in the Army and everything else, it was somebody else that was being selected for the position. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Still doing my job. When the list came out, the dude that was supposed to be, they were looking at to get the replacement, he didn't make the cut. I made the cut, right? Tommy became the first sergeant for a quartermaster unit. Man, my own DA. I stressed what that job was, but the job was so rewarding. When I look at these soldiers staying there late, have my doors open, that my door would never close. I don't care what I was doing in the office. You come walk in the A first sergeant, you got a second? Yes, I do have a second. Because that time with that soldier will make a difference. When I'm saying, hey, no, I got an important meeting with Sergeant Major. Exactly. No, you wait. No. Exactly. Sergeant Major can wait. Let me talk to that soldier. And see what he or she wants. It might be a life and death situation. It might be a place that he think about suicide. So I took that job very serious.
Yep.
I went to work every day happy.
Yep.
I fought for my soldiers. I fought for my officers. I fought for anyone that falls in my Alpha 162.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good job. It was very rewarding, stressful.
Yeah.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
But it was rewarding. I love being the first sergeant. I think even when I left, my 2 years being the first sergeant, I didn't want to leave the position. But somebody had to go.
Yeah. I remember when you put on Facebook about you didn't want to leave, and right before I go into the academy, because I definitely want to hit that, we share another mutual friend, Captain Wu.
Woo! That's my boy. That was my XO.
Captain Wu was in the S3 with me. I was getting ready. I was probably about 2 months away from redeploying, going back to the States, and he came into my S3. And, he was like, he was new to the unit. He was like, let me get y'all Facebook page and all right. I'm like, okay, this dude stalking or whatever, right? I ain't mean it, Captain Wu. I'm just sorry if you're going to listen to this. Right. And I remember he friended me. He was like, hey, ZARZAR. I'm like, yeah, man, we deployed together. We were recruiters and all that. He said, yeah, he was the first sergeant in my unit. So it goes to show you, small world, man.
Small world. Man, he was a good guy. And the funny thing, he was a pirate service.
Sure was.
So dealing with him, because he knew, man, I love nothing against other officers, but I love working with pirate service officers because they know what's up.
Yes.
Right. So that's something that I enjoy my time with. Man, I think right now he's in Germany.
He is.
He's in Germany, so we're gonna link up when I get over there.
He sure is. He is in Germany.
Definitely.
Officers, I've always, whenever an NCO converted to officer, changed over to officer, it was easy working for them if they were a staff sergeant or E7.
Yes.
And you could just tell.
Yes.
Oh, we got the brand new second lieutenant. We got a brand new first lieutenant. You can look at him or her walk and that cat was an NCO. You could just tell. You could just and Captain Wu was like that. You could just tell the dude was. And like you say, it's so easy to work with them.
To work with people like that.
Versus the cat that I know this. Grandpa was a general. Whatever. Go get these leave forms signed.
Man.
You know what I mean? So
right.
Now, recent graduate of the United States Army Sergeant Majors Academy. What was that like? 9 months in Fort Bliss.
Man, you know what, man? I keep saying this sound was great. This was great.
Right.
But everything I think in my career, man, been super. I mean, it just been adding up and great. But prior to going to the academy, I came from the embassy as a diplomat over in South Africa.
I'm sorry, yeah, that's right. You sure did.
See?
Let's touch on that.
Man, so after the first on gig, I'm sitting there like, man, I want to go to what you call it, 3 Corps, headquarters.
Yep.
So, but I'm like, okay, I'm sitting here with a TS, not being used. So what can I do to use my TS? So I actually applied for the program for the DAS Defense Attaché System program. Got selected. Boom, options. I went to South Africa. Oh man, that was a great assignment. I mean, now
I remember the
suits and ties. I'm, there being working with people that, decision makers, doing things in that office that work for the United States government. So, kind of pinning the orange bag, like, okay, man, I'm a guy that came to this country as a refugee, made it to the Army as an NCO, XYZ. I'm moving up. Then now I'm a diplomat. I don't have a blue passport. I don't just have a blue passport. I have a black passport. I'm a diplomat. Man, we can go on with that, but that was one of the best assignments that I had in my career. I left South Africa. I love the country. I love the people. I'm missing that country every day.
I know. I see you still put pictures of.
Man, I still put pictures there because I love it. I love that country. Man, that was woo. First class 71, Sergeant Major Academy. I didn't get selected because I felt like I checked all the blocks. I would get selected. I didn't get selected. I was devastated. I'm like, why I didn't, get selected? I met one of the great NCO Sergeant Major. We're good friends now. And she just like, hey, let me look at your record. She looked at my record. She said, hey, change this, do this.
Yep.
Boom. Class 72. I got selected for class 72, number 1 out of 340. I'm sitting there like, yo, this is surreal. Got to the academy. Academy is a beast. I mean, total of 10 months, right? Got there.
Yeah.
I got there in July. The school started in August, and we graduated in June. So about 10 months. My mistake going to the academy, thinking that I'm going to another NCOS school. I know it's a PCS mode, right?
Right.
Man, I reported a couple of days before the school started.
I remember I saw that. I saw the.
And I'm like, why did I do that? So when I had my nephew staying moving with me, right? So when we got there, trying to get him ready for school, trying to do X, Y, Z. Man, school was starting. So the first couple of months, man, I was having a hard time. My car back in South Africa, I didn't sell it. So trying to I got other external factors that's killing my focus in school, right?
Yeah.
But academy overall, the academy was great, man. It's a lot of stuff that we learn over there. It's funny that, you're saying, trust and believe, right? I was saying academy with trust and inspire.
Trust and inspire.
Trust and inspire, right?
Trust and inspire.
Man, you talking about 10 months being around NCOs that have all the knowledge, NCOs that have been first sergeants, that think they're the best first sergeant in the world.
Yeah.
Best master sergeants.
Yeah.
You competing, it gets so competitive, and you tell yourself, man, I'm not here to compete, right?
Right.
I'm here to learn. I'm here to build, I'm here to build relationships. I'm here to network.
Yeah.
Because I'm here for 10 months. When I leave, I won't see these guys again, right?
Yeah.
So don't try to compete in the sense that I will lose friendship while I'm trying to compete.
Exactly.
And it was man, it's a bunch of smart, intelligent dudes in the NCO. The NCO Corps, man, it's great. People think that you got NCO, a lot of guys didn't go to college or whatever the case is. Nah, that's a lie.
It is.
That's a lie. You got some smart dudes.
It is.
You got dudes in there some dudes that didn't go to college, but they're still so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Their rights and reads and articulate themselves so well. You're like, man, you sure you didn't go to college?
Yeah.
From
all nations.
Huh?
From all nations.
From all nations. I mean, you're sitting there, these guys coming in there, man, I love it. And I miss it. Even now, I'm like, man, I'm not in the classroom environment. I'm not doing schoolwork. I'm not doing X, Y, Z, getting papers.
Right.
And I think one thing the Army, the Academy taught me was, man, papers, I mean, I got the degrees and everything else, right? But I think the attention to detail in the Academy, that you write a group paper, your content is great. But little errors, because you got one period here that are not supposed to be there. You got the APA format, APA 7 format wrong, you get plenty sticking away. A great paper, but you get a 90, 95 or 92, and you pissed off. You think it's a great paper, but just a little bit of errors in your paper that took you down to lower score. But I love the Academy. I learned a lot, and that's why I'm ready to go down to my new unit, ready to show them what I learned from the Academy.
Let's talk about you getting ready. Again, congratulations as well, class 72, Sergeant Major's Academy.
Hey, trust and inspire.
No doubt. No doubt. No freaking doubt. Let's talk about what's next. You just mentioned it. You kind of just did the prelude. Germany is next. You already know, pinpoint where you're going?
Yes, I'm going to, it's a new engineer brigade that the Army staying up right now up in Ansbach, Germany.
Oh, okay.
The unit was there years ago. It was there in, I think it's back in like the 40s, 50s until 1991. It went away.
Yep.
So to bring the unit back up, it's the engineer brigade. I will be the brigade S4 sergeant major.
Oh, wow.
When you look at a lot of time, people don't know, like, hey, what are you doing as a sergeant major? What are you doing a brigade, right? Because a lot of time, you don't have, S4 don't have sergeant majors in the brigades.
Right.
3 units that have sergeant major in the brigade, S4 would be signal engineers, and then medical.
Yep.
Because these are special entity units, core assets. So that's why I'm going as the S4 sergeant majors. And I'm looking forward to it. Did something different. Being us 92 Alphas who don't work in the S4. We do everything else, the sport and everything else.
No doubt.
So I'm like, I'm in a whole different. I'm going to a different field. And the good thing here, I'm the first one that got selected in the brigade, going through this assignment. Even the brigade commander and the brigade sergeant major have not yet been selected. So I'm going there. Wow. We don't stand up until next summer, but I'm going there now to get stuff ready, equipment, building, and everything ready, stuff like that. So I'm part of history. I'm part of history with this new brigade.
you'll be part of that lineage, because like you said, they deactivated in '91 when all those units deactivated. Now you're part of that new culture. You just said you're getting ready to establish this new culture. So when you bring in a new commander, sergeant major, you giving them the keys to the castle, which S4 is essentially what they do. Now some of the folks, they used to sell the castle when they got the keys, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But I'm telling you, I'm so freaking proud of you, man. I'm telling you, I remember us as freaking staff sergeants. I remember when I got passed up, when I didn't make the list for sergeant first class, because you made it before me. Yep, you made it before.
It's other way around. You made first class. I mean, sergeant first class. I didn't make the list. Remember, we was in recruiting, and when you know what I'm saying, you hit me like, hey man, Z, it was you and Yancey that made sergeant first class, right? I didn't make the first list. It was Master Sergeant. Master Sergeant. That's
Master Sergeant. You made Master Sergeant first, because I was still in Japan,
right? And
I remember I had put on there something freaking. The Army ain't gonna hold me back, dude. Shut up for another year. Figure yourself out. But you had made it. Yancey, I think, made it. That list. There was a whole bunch of folks, and there was cats of my unit that made it. And I remember my sergeant major. I hated that he did this, but I'm glad he did it. He brought all the seniors in our conference room in Japan. He was like, everybody that was eligible for E8 stand up. So, you know, I'll stand up. Everybody else stand up. Everybody that made the list that has a sequence number, stand up. So I was like, dang. So I sat down. He's like, for y'all that make it, you need to do something else. And he had this conversation, was like, you work in the SPO, I need you to work in the S3. You know how we get about S3s. Right. But I did an episode about it. I can't remember. He told me, in order for you to make Master Sergeant, you're going to have to go to a S3. I know you did an S3 as a staff sergeant. Great. Good for you. You need to go there. You know, and I'm like, nah, Sergeant Major, you can't do that to me. You know what I mean? Right. But it ended up happening, though, a year. And then, remember, you found that I made the list and all that. So I guess I went rambling, but I'm saying I appreciate all the support that you gave me, mental support. I mean, people don't know, man, we've had conversations, man. Life. We've been deployed together. We were recruiters, different states. Went to the scene. I mean, we did a lot of stuff, man. So absolutely, definitely appreciate that.
No problem, man. I appreciate you too, man. You don't know how much you inspire me, D.A. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
Saying, D.A., like I said, man, you one of the guys that I know that rep Detroit. You a big Lions fan.
No doubt.
You know, your Michigan, you know what I'm saying? You don't play with your Wolverines, you know what I mean? So when people talk about Michigan, the first person my mind runs to is you. I'm like, this dude is Detroit. He's Michigan, you know what I mean? So appreciate man, the fact that we sitting there, I'm sitting next to you back in the top. We go on recruiting. We talk about our recruiting mission. We talk about back and forth. Adding our notes. I'm following you up when you in Japan. Yeah. You know, just tell them when you talk about back in Korea when you sitting there making videos about you being cold, how cold it was in Korea, and I'm like, man, this dude is just naturally funny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're very professional. And he's funny, and he's a good person to be around.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm telling you for your time and your service in this Army was great. And I still that you here doing this now, man. And I think we talk about me with the thing I do with the financial advice and everything else. Yep. And you told me, hey man, Z, go ahead and do it. Start this. And I'll reach out to you. You want to tell me what I need to do, and we go from there. So I appreciate you too, man. So the respect is neutral.
Definitely, man. And I want to touch that piece. I want to save that for last. Okay. I guess, my next question was like favorite duty station. We kind of talked about that. Let's go into the financial piece.
Okay.
Outside of being a soon-to-be sergeant major, soon-to-be command sergeant major, where are you looking to take all the knowledge and wisdom that you have with the financial life? Where are you trying to take that? What do you see it?
See, that's I'm trying to right now. It's just like I got all these knowledge built up in me, And I don't think I have some actual plan, my plan with this whole thing I'm doing, right? That's why I'm just putting a little bit of knowledge here and there. I might, people told me to write a book, do a book, start doing a little, doing the podcast and, having YouTube videos and everything else. But I think the book part, I'm thinking about doing a book on my life itself.
Yep.
Do another book on this whole financial, financial education.
Yeah.
I think my experience is just the reason why I'm so passionate about these financial advice and education, my experience, how I struggled through the process, decisions that I made, not having people there to tell me, hey, nope, don't do this, don't do that, right? Then when I look at numbers with the banks, how banks work, what banks doing to people making these decisions, I just want to be somebody to say, hey, man, nope, look at it this way, right? Do X, Y, Z.
Yep. Because
I did that, and that's what happened to me, right? Yep. So I think doing a book would be my next. I think doing a podcast now, but I'll eventually do a book or something like that. That's my goal when I retire.
Because I tell you, I see all your posts talking about, HELOC, refi. I mean, something simple as making $2, save $1, all those things. And we've all been through paying a mortgage on a house we no longer live in, having someone renting out a house, and doing all the property managers, finances and everything. For you to say, you know what, this is my passion. And this is a God thing. This is spirit-led.
Right.
Not only has God said, okay, Master Sergeant, soon to be Sergeant Major and everything, also I need you to do something else for people that's not affiliated with the uniform. Some may be, some may not. But for you to kind of say, oh, I want to do a podcast about finances. I want to write a book about my life. I want to write a book about finances. To me, that shows you we never stop growing. And you mentioned it earlier, tomorrow's never promised.
Right.
Don't live with a regret. Oh, I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to write a book. I just want to sit in the house and play Madden. Okay, so then when you die, then you have no one to blame but you. You know what I'm saying? Not to be disrespectful, but you kind of get what I'm saying about people like that. But for the fact that you kind of sticking your neck out there, here's my life story. These are the mistakes I made. Let's learn. And I'm learning while I'm trying to teach you to learn. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
kudos to you on that, man. Kudos.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I think I heard something yesterday. I said, man, live your life the way you want to live your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something, I want to leave a legacy. I want people to remember me like, oh, this guy that taught me X, Y, Z. A lot of times people hit me up and say, hey, man, I appreciate you, your decision, talking to me, your advice. I made a decision. I bought a house. I'm doing this. I refinance. I'm paying off this.
Yeah.
It feels so good. It's not the monetary gain from me doing this, right? If it have money comes in, it great. Yep. But the feeling that someone calls me and say, hey, Z, what you did, what you said, I read your post, I did this, they happened. Man, it just feels so good. I sleep good at night knowing that people say that.
I'm gonna tell you something. And I didn't message you. You put a post, I want to say it had to be probably about a year ago, because I think I hadn't retired yet. And I remember you had a post on there. I can't remember. I had to go back and, do some stalking activities to get it. But you talked about refinance and all that, tap into that equity. So me and Mr. Anderson, we recently did that probably about a couple months ago. And we've had houses, we all, have houses, paying mortgages and all that stuff. But you said something in the post, and I wish I remembered off the top. There's so much equity that's in a house.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying this mortgage every month. Sometimes, we double mortgages or whatever.
Right.
There's so much untapped equity in that house that a person does not realize.
Yes.
And I remember right before we decided to do a refi, they had statistics. There was like the average house in America has at least $85,000 of equity.
Equity. Yeah.
No one knows about. Now that money, you can sniff cocaine, you can do whatever you want with it, but it's yours.
It's your money.
And so when we decided, you know what, let's go ahead and do this, because where we currently at right now, I think we'll probably be here for a little bit. I know the ultimate goal is to go back to Japan, but I got to deal with reality. You know what I mean? Because we want to go back to Japan, but are we trying to recreate Japan when we were there?
Right.
That moment of time is gone.
It's gone. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think we're probably, where we're at right now, I think we probably end up staying. So I said, let's go ahead and just see how much we got. We found out how much we have, and we made so many improvements. And this house was built while we were in Okinawa.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
we watched it from dirt, first pillar going up, roof. We watched all that.
Okay.
And this is like the first home that we've had that's ours, where we the first people in.
Okay.
So we've been paying this mortgage, and we got the equity, we did all that, lowered the payments, the whole thing, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I hadn't seen some of your posts.
Oh wow.
So kudos to you. I know I'm like freaking 40 years late giving you flowers on that.
No, brother.
But I remember that when I was freaking, I hadn't retired yet, and I was like, that's one of the things I want to do, in the next 2 years, is refi the house just to see how much we got in there. So,
man, I appreciate it, man.
That, man.
And it motivates, like you said. I think earlier you said about when you post. I mean, like you starting now with the views and everything else, right? Because when I was back in South Africa and I would do these live streams, right? Got time. I had time. So I'm sitting there doing a live stream, but I look, got like 2 or 3 people or 5 people, right? Like you said, man, I'm close to 5,000 friends, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, so I'm getting some, free education.
Yeah.
But people are not, gravitating towards it. But when I say something crazy or something controversial, everybody, oh, it's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's good, right? And I'm like, wow. Then when I came back home for leave last summer, I went to the library, 2 different cities. I said, hey, can I use the library for 3 hours? I want to give a financial class, right?
Yep.
I sat in the library for 3 hours. The first one. No one showed up.
I remember that. I remember seeing
and I'm just sitting, I was hurt. I'm like, I'm saying like, wow, what do I have to do to get people to the water to drink from the fountain? Right? I'm giving this few information. I'm doing this. I'm not selling nothing.
Yep.
I'm just telling you, come listen.
Yep.
So, and people tell me, hey man, some people watch you sometimes, even though they might not comment, or when they watch your videos, they watch at the end because they're doing something right there and then, but they come back and, come back in there and do, follow your advice and things like that, right? And I'm like, it makes me feel good, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I say I can't, if I don't see it, it kind of hurts in the sense that you feel like you're doing something that people not, like kind of TV rating.
Yeah.
You can't get most season if you don't get a good rating.
Exactly.
People not watching your show.
Exactly.
Right. So the fact that you're getting the rating the basis, it make you want to do more.
Yeah.
So, but what you're doing right now, man, keep doing it, man. I like what you're doing. And the same advice that you get me right now, I will keep pushing. In that, like you said, this is not just, it's spiritual. It's a spiritual calling.
It is.
But this is something that I feel good within myself.
Yeah. So
there's not a person sitting here just like, oh yeah, I like this and I can make money doing it, right? I said, no, it's not about the money.
It's not.
It's not. People feeling good, telling them like, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing. That's my call. That's my spiritual calling. I think something else that I do, people sometimes I don't think you probably know about it, you know what I'm saying? But I go like in other countries, giving out to the people in the slums and people in the hood, right?
Yeah.
Less fortunate, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right? But some dudes, like especially when living back when I'm being in South Africa, I seen what struggle is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, we go out there and feed like family, like feed 10 family for a month. Do something. And that's not political or nothing. It feels good.
I'll tell you another thing I remember. Let me see if I'm gonna test your memory here. Remember when we was in Kuwait and you put together a package you wanted to send back? Remember I gave you some pants, I gave you some Adidas, shirts. It wasn't just me, it was all of us. ALAIMALO, rest in peace. He gave some stuff away. People was giving, they will go to the PX and buy basketball. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that everything you just mentioned right there is coming from the heart. It's a God thing. That's all spirit driven. I'm great. You just mentioned it. I'm doing great. My head is above water. How can I help him? How can I help her? So we all above water. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's freaking beautiful.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
That's what we can do, man. Just bless other.
It is.
And that's what I'm keep pushing the Army now. You know, go out there. I probably want to sergeant majors that have sections in my battalion, or even, you know, even my section S4 talk about finance. Like, hey, let's talk about finance. What are you doing? What are you planning? What your TSP look like? What this look like? What are you doing? Buying a home. Let's talk. Let's talk about interest rate. So I think people might like, hey man, hey sergeant major, you know what I'm saying? The power comments of finance, sergeant major, and everything else, right? But I think that's me right there across my brigade, across the Army. That's my goal, man. Just to talk people about finance.
You have to. When I was a master sergeant in Korea, this last time I was in Korea, I remember we used to have this thing every month I had to put on called Warrior. It was Warrior Focus. Once a month, we had to do Warrior Focus. Everybody in the brigade show up. I have, you know, people that's teaching the class or videos, award ceremony, whatever. But me and my Sergeant Major Brown, he used to always say, he was like that as well, let's get some finance people in here. Because these soldiers, and you know how it goes, these soldiers up in Korea, they make $2 and they spending $50. Right. You know what I mean? Let's get somebody in here to tell them, hey, Johnny, you can freaking have fun in Korea. If you make $5, save $2.50. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So finances, a lot of us, we get sensitive. Oh no, that's, you know, that's my stuff.
Yeah, here we go.
But at the end of the day, you know, I look at myself, me and my wife, we're in a blessed situation. She works on base, making good dough.
There you go.
I'm retired E8. I got freaking 100%. So life is great. I could just sit and play Madden, but it's a spirit thing. You know, we talked about that. It's a God thing. Right. How can I get the message that I have, the mistakes I made, the storytelling, bringing my friends on, good friends on, telling their story. How can I get that out to people? Because some people need to hear this.
They need to hear it.
Some people need to hear it, man, finance. Ooh, I want to go to Sergeant Major's Academy. Man, I got passed over for E7. Some people need to hear this stuff.
Exactly.
So definitely thankful that you came on today.
Man,
appreciate
it. You know, another person that, you know, shout out to the late Kobe Bryant, right?
Yes.
When people don't know how much I respect this, I respected this man, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that he did that influenced me to push forward doing this, right? His second act, right? What's my second act after the military? What am I going to do after the military? I would enjoy doing.
Yes.
And this man, when he left, because I want to leave when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
When he left basketball, he was done with basketball.
Yep.
His focus was, okay, storytelling, I'm doing XYZ, right? This is something I like doing. Same thing here. When I'm done with the military, people are like, oh man, I want you to do this. And I said, no, I want to do something else away from the military.
Yeah.
It's like my passion that I go, I come home every day, feeling good, and I sleep good at night.
Yeah.
So I think with the whole finance thing, that's probably, you know, storytelling and just giving people advice to motivate others. That's gonna be my second act.
And I tell you, and we talked about this before we started. I had hit, and I spoke on this in other episodes. I hit a high depression level after I retired because it was like, no one's calling. Man, I ain't got to yell at staff duty for not showing up.
Right.
Sergeant Major ain't calling me to do this and that. You know, the cats like, oh, Master Sergeant, and know what, the calls just stopped.
Right.
So I would tell you, I felt, man, you felt betrayed, you felt neglected.
Right.
But then you have to realize it's over. Maintain those friendships.
Right.
But all that, you got to do this and this and that, that's over. That's somebody else's job. So like you say, what's the second act?
Yes.
Sometimes it takes a while to figure out. You know, it took me a while to figure out this podcast as a second act. So again, it's all spirit driven. So when you retire, even before you retire, finance is definitely your passion. I've been knowing that for years about you. Do it while you still in, and when you retire and get that DD 214, shoot, man, it's going to be huge. Your podcast is going to be huge. Your books, everything, your followers. Now, not some more of the followers, but the people that's following the guidance.
Right.
And I think that's what's important.
That's what's important.
Because we all can follow, oh, he's going left, I'm going left.
Right.
Why is he going left? You know what I mean? So Kudos,
Absolutely.
man. Kudos.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, brother.
No
Appreciate
doubt,
it,
man.
man.
I guess we can go ahead and close it out. We've been talking for a minute. Great conversation. So again, man, I just want to say just thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. We've been giving each other flowers throughout this whole episode. This has been a long time coming. Right. I didn't know how to do interview. This time last year, no clue how to do this stuff. What do you mean do an interview? I ain't doing it. I just text.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But to be able to have a retired master sergeant, soon to be sergeant major, sitting here providing wisdom, life stories, more or less, I think we're just reminiscing.
That's what I'm saying. Reminiscing. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And if someone can listen to both of our strengths, both of our weaknesses, and make them better,
right?
Man, this is all for us. So I appreciate you coming on the Nomad Cast. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate it, brother. I always appreciate you. I will forever appreciate you too. So keep doing what you're doing.
No doubt. Thank you.
Soldiers out there, just know that life is what you make it.
Yep.
Right. If it's one door closes, it's another door or window getting ready to open.
Yeah.
So when someone says no, say okay. Happily walk away, re-strategize, and see what can you do to move forward.
That's it.
When they tell you can't do this, and you keep pushing. You keep pushing, you keep pushing until you get what you want. My motto here now is the sky is not the limit anymore, right?
No.
Because we got people that are going to the moon. So when you tell yourself it's a limitation of what you want in life, you won't accomplish nothing. Keep telling yourself, I can do it. If D can do it, I can do it. If Z can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
That fact, that mind, because once your mind control your actions. So when you control your mind, tell your mind, look, everything is on limited, you will definitely accomplish it. So I'm here trying to do my best. Hopefully in the next couple of years I can hang it up and start my second act. But just I'm blessed, man. I tell soldiers all the time, keep pushing. You know, I'm here. I'm very approachable. The rank is not who I am. I'm ZARZAR. Without the rank, I want you to respect who I am, not the rank. So when I talk to soldiers out of uniform, they think I'm a lower ranking, person. Then when they see my rank, like, oh, you this rank? I said, nah, dude, stop worrying about the rank. Yeah, I'm a person. Don't call me after work. Don't call me by my rank. Call me ZARZAR. Call me Z. Come through. I'm cool with that. But man, just life. Just enjoy life, man. That's my advice to people. Just enjoy life. Live life the way you want. You know what I'm saying? Life to love when you leave here. Build a legacy. That's so I gotta say, man.
That's it, man. Appreciate it. Again, thank you for coming on, man. Continue to be blessed, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah.